Hey there, it's Jen, and I am here to show you my hybrid process for the Light Story Kit from Ali Edwards. This is an amazing kit. I love this subject, and today I'm going to go kind of literal, but my journaling is going to get a little bit reflective. So what I'm doing is I'm starting with this photo from my trip, my cruise in February, and we had the most amazing day at Amiga Island in Haiti. And as we were leaving, that was our last port, and the next day we were leaving, and we were just kind of sad and just grateful for the experience. And as we were leaving, pulling away, a storm was coming, but you could see the light shining through the clouds right here, and you can't tell really in the photo, but it's shining right on Amiga Island. So it was kind of just like one of those little moments when you're like, oh wow. And so I want to draw attention to that. And so this is something I'm trying. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it, but we'll see. This is from the digital stamp set, and it's like a little sunburst. And what I want to do is have it surround this light. So the center of this circle will be this little stream of light coming through the clouds there. And so first thing I want to do is I'm going to make it white. And so the way that I like to do that is to go to Image, Edit, Fill, and then you can choose foreground or background color. Now my foreground color is set to this bright blue, so I'm going to choose my background color because that's what's white. And opacity 100%, preserve transparency, and hit OK. So now it's white. And then I can just grab my move tool and I'm going to drag it onto my photo. You can see it's pretty small. This is not going to do what I want it to do because it's cutting off the light. You can't even tell what it is. So I'm going to enlarge it quite a bit. So I'm just holding down my Shift key and dragging it out. I want it to be fairly large, I'm thinking. So, because I really want you to get that effect of the sun streaming down right onto that little island there. So I think I want it something like that. I'm going to click the checkbox. Now, I don't think I want it this apparent, and so what I'm going to do is just lower the opacity of this a little bit. So I just make sure it's chosen over here in my layers palette, so it's layer 1, and I'm going to go to this opacity and just drag it down until it looks like you can see it, but it's not overpowering. So I think something like that, very subtle, but you can still see it, is what I want. So I'm going to leave it at 30%. I'm going to go ahead and print this off and come back and do the rest of the layout with the physical kit. Alright guys, so here you can see I have my photo printed out. Now my printer I think is running out of ink because the edge of it didn't print that great. So I'm contemplating cutting this off because I'm too lazy to print it again. That's how I roll. And I went ahead and printed my journaling on some white cardstock with my laser printer, and I'm going to try foiling it. Now, I don't know if I have enough ink on here for it to work well, but I'm going to try it because I think that would be a really cool look, especially with this theme of light. And so you can see I have my laminator here warming up. And this is really simple to do if you haven't tried it. Thermal laminating. So basically you just have to print something on a laser printer. I'm going to choose my color, and I have 3 different colors that I'm contemplating. I have this champagne color, this more yellowy gold, and then a rose gold, just depending on what ends up looking the best. But I'm going to start with trying the champagne foil because I feel like it matches these puffy stickers from the Light Story Kit the best. So we're going to try that and see how it goes. And I'll just do this part with you real quick. Maybe I'll fast forward it so that you don't have to, it does take a minute to go through. And I always like to send it through twice, just in case. I'm just going to grab one of these sheets here. I'm just going to cut enough for what I need. So just cut this off. Very reflective. And then I'm going to place it on top of the journaling, sandwich it here in this little paper. This comes with all of their deco foil comes with a little sheet like this that you can run through. And you want to put it folded side first into the laminator. You want to make sure it's good and hot, like let this warm up for a bit. In fact, it doesn't say it's ready yet. Oh yeah, it does. Okay, wait till it says it's ready. I'm gonna go ahead and feed it through. Okay, now comes the moment of truth. We'll see if it works. It kind of looks like it did. Ooh. Okay, so it did work, but not amazingly. You can see that there is foil on there, but there's still a lot of black. So what I'm gonna do is try printing this again and see if I can get it darker, and then I'll try it one more time. And if it doesn't work, then I'm just gonna try something else. So I basically printed off my journaling and just made it bold, and that helped a lot. It just needed a little bit more toner on there to go through. And I put this through twice just in case. All right, so let's check out this second one. Now remember, the first one, not so great. The second one looks pretty awesome. There's only a few spots where it's like a little bit where it didn't get, but you can see. Oh, and look how cool this looks too. I think this would look super cool if I look at this on the white. How cool would it be if I just put that on there? Kind of cool. Kind of like trippy a little. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put you on fast forward and talk you through the rest of my layout. So like I mentioned before, my photo printed a little weird, so I'm just chopping off the end there. I don't want to lose too much. I really love a large focal photo. And I've just got my light story kit there in a little tub to the left of me. I got that for 50 cents at Hobby Lobby. I actually got a whole bunch of them. Anyway, I'm just kind of playing around with some of the embellishments, trying to decide how I might want to make this work. I really wanted to use those puffy stickers, but they don't end up making it onto the layout. And then I really liked that arrow that says this light, and I decided to make it point right to the sun streaming through the clouds there, and that kind of fueled the design for the rest of the layout. So what I'm going to do is find a whole bunch of chipboard pieces and kind of just make a line, and I'm going to have the word light be underneath it. Now I really wanted one of those chipboard pieces to fit in that little space between the L and the H of light. And so what I'm going to do now is just go through all of my Ali Edwards chipboard and find things that I can kind of nestle together and make this stack of sentiments here. So some of them are from the Light Story Kit chipboard pieces, and some of them are from old story kits, and I find some from the travel and the summer releases that Ali had in her shop. So there's just a whole bunch of different ones there. I'll link to any of the ones that you can purchase that aren't part of the story kits. So you can check those out if you want to. I love the chipboard. That's my favorite thing from Ali Edwards is her chipboard pieces. And I really love that little skinny white one I just put on. It's just like, I like the variance in size. So at this point I'm thinking maybe I don't want to do it on a white background. Maybe I want to do it on a patterned paper. So I'll map my photo in white. So that's what I'm doing here. Just putting it on some white cardstock and giving it a generous white photo mat. And I'm going to try a few different papers out. At first I think I want this one from Studio Calico, but it feels, I don't know, like too heavy or something. I do like just this plain yellow cardstock. I think this yellow threw off my white balance in my video because it gets a little bit yellow from here until almost the end, which is really obnoxious, so I apologize about that. But here I'm just trying out a bunch of other backgrounds. I thought maybe a globe background would be nice. I really like just this simple paper that has kind of some yellow and orange in it, and that's from the pink paisley color, what was it called? Now I can't remember. It's really old. It's a color wash. It's a paper from a paper pad, but I really liked the colors on that, so I decided to use that for my background. And then I'm going to cut my journaling into strips using my We Are Memory Keepers guillotine trimmer. I have heard some people say that they have a problem with this not cutting straight, but what I do is I hold down that little plastic piece that's next to the trimmer, and I find that I get great straight cuts. So I'm just centering my photo in the top there, so you can see there's an equal amount of distance on the sides and the top, and I'm going to start adhering my chipboard pieces as well. And I like the way that they kind of snuggle down in, I said snuggle, not nestle this time, snuggle down in under the word, or in between those letters in the word light. So I'm using some Thermoweb mixed media adhesive to glue down my word light. I accidentally put a little too much on, so it oozed out a little bit. You just need a very, very little amount of that glue, but that glue holds things down like nobody's business, and I love it. So I wanted to make sure I used it here, especially since it's on a glossy photo. I really wanted to make sure it sticks. So that's what I decided to use for that. So you can see I'm just making this stack here, and I'm kind of making them go a little bit back and forth. I just like that look. And I'm going to arrange my journaling strips, and I'm going to have them kind of start just at the bottom of the photo and then go down the page. And I actually wish I would have started these just a little bit higher than I did, because I want them this is what my brain wants to do. You can see there's an equal amount of distance on the sides and the top. I want there to be that much distance from the bottommost thing and the bottom, and there's not. So I still have 2 strips to glue on there, and it's already smaller than that size, but you know, it's okay. I can live with it. I wasn't going to move them all. So it ends up working okay. Now I'm pulling out these, they're like kind of leathery, puffy stickers. They're pinked circles and they're really cute. So I'm pulling out some yellow ones and thinking those would be nice to scatter across the layout, because I want something else going on besides just all of these words. Since there isn't a person in the photo, it's got a different look to it, and I almost feel like you need something to balance that, because with a person in the photo, it's, I don't know, there's something about the way it draws you in. Not that this photo doesn't draw you in, but I don't know. I was struggling with embellishing this layout. And in the end, I thought it was a little bit too simple, but I don't know if simple is even the right word. I felt like I needed some other icon. I don't know. But it turns out nice, and I really like the story, so I'm just going to let it happen. So I'm trying to find some pieces that I can put at the top to kind of mimic the thing I've got going on the photo, and I want to create a smaller cluster like the one I had. So I decided to find an arrow, and there just happened to be one from the Up Story kit that was that orangey color, and so I brought that in. It said things are looking up, so I thought that was a good phrase to put there. And then I'm just creating a smaller little cluster of things up at the top, and so I'm looking again through my chipboard trying to find stuff that will work. I feel like I needed a longer word strip, so I pulled out some more, and I had to just hold my stack of those chipboard pieces there. There's a nice big stack of them, and I love it. I love those chipboard pieces. So I'm using a little half circle that says this, and that's, I think that what I was trying to go for is where things nestle in, and so I really liked the idea of nestling something into an arrow because I did it on the bottom part, and so I had to use the arrow. I just really liked it. So I'm going to move around these little leather kind of sun looking pieces. I'm going to move them around the layout quite a bit because I can't decide how many I want. I can't decide if 3 is enough for the whole layout, or if I should do 5, or 5 is too many, and should I do 2 at the top cluster and 3 in the bottom one, and then some by the journaling too. Like, I just was having a little bit of an inner struggle. But it all works out, so don't you worry. I'm also having a little inner struggle about what pieces to put up here at the top, but I will bring back that arrow because it's what works the best. And I think it turns out pretty good. So just peeling those off. These chipboard pieces stick really well. The adhesive backing on them is nice. And the other thing I love about chipboard stickers is you can make them less dimensional by just peeling off some of the layers if you want to. I didn't do that here, but I have done it in like pocket page spreads in the past because I want a little less bulk there, and I'll just rip off some of the back layers, and it still gives you a little bit of dimension and that chipboard look, but it's a little bit thinner. So again, I'm playing with all of those little pieces, and after I figure out where they're going to go, that's pretty much going to complete the layout. I will add some gold color shine to this, and also I will add a date. And I'm just going to stamp the date up at the top with that little cluster of word chipboard stickers. And that is going to finish this layout for me. I hope that you've enjoyed. If you want to see more, head over to allieedwards.com so you can check out the story kits. They're really awesome and inspire me to tell great stories. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you here again very soon.